Hi, how's it going, guys? This is Mufta of GBFX. How's your week? How's your previous week, guys? I just wanted to say some people said they missed the previous analysis. So I just want you guys to just turn on the notification on the page, so as when there's a new post, you can like straightforward get it, so you don't miss anything. So just go ahead and turn on the notification for the page. So I just wanted to update you guys. For this week, nothing much has really changed on there. Nothing much has really changed this week. Throughout the analysis we did. So we'll start with the USD chef. USD chef is same place last week. We had, let me show you guys the previous analysis we did there. So we had this last week. I think it was around here. There was a rejection on this candle, but it still filled up and went back after like 3 days, and it's still here. But the downside risk is still playing out. So if you want to get full understanding of what happened here last week, you can just go back to the analysis. I don't want to go back to the previous analysis, last week's analysis, to get the full story. I don't want to go fully into it. So yeah, basically we'll be waiting the same thing. This is a PRG, this is a reversal, so you should be waiting for your entry signal at the moment. I personally would wait for it to get to this top. Then I consider a couple of facts in addition to that before I should jump into a trade here. So I'm waiting for it to get to this top for a continuation to the downside, because this might be like a little bit of consolidation here. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Yeah, guys. So the next chart to be looking at is the pound USD. There wouldn't really be a lot to do this week on the analysis. So this week's analysis will be very, very short, because they are like previous moves that are just finished to play out. So this is the pound USD. Last week, if you were the past week's analysis, you see what we're looking at here, from the weekly, from the daily, the monthly. So I will just put the link of the last week analysis so you guys can go ahead and watch it again. So last week, this happened. So this other rejection, a good one, and boom, went down. Well, I didn't catch that move. If you didn't catch the move because of one thing or the other, you might just at least wait for a pullback. Wait for a pullback to the upside before you do anything. If you don't have very huge capital to enter, I would wait for a pullback around here. Pull back to this side, to the upside, maybe around here, to say. So my risk and my potential reward right here, if and when it breaks out. So what is safe is you want to enter here and you want to close at the trend line, because the trend line is also a demand zone. People will be buying from here. So if your trading strategy fits, that's fine. If your trading strategy says you hold. So that's the pound USD, guys. Nothing's really changed. You can check on the weekly. Nothing's really changed from last week over here. So like I said in the previous analysis, in the previous video, you need to come into the market with a fresh mindset from last week. You pretend as if you haven't, you didn't see what happened last week, so you clean up all the charts, clean up all the trend lines, and start again. That's how you keep your mind abreast of the market. And there are sometimes you don't see anything on the charts. I mean, you get analysis block. Like, it's not every day. If you notice some of these charts, I mean, we did more than some of these charts. The charts down here, you as a chef, I think I left some out. So it's not every day, not every week, depending on your strategy. Not every time you are going to see a setup. Not every time you are going to actually be able to speculate, uh, analyze, and see where the market might go. It's not every time you get it. So sometimes you just don't see anything, and I mean, just let it go. You don't have to force anything. So that's the pound USD. The Euro New Zealand dollar. Euro New Zealand dollar was also around here last week. And it broke out of the range. I think last week we had something like this drawn straight down. So it broke out of the range. Breaking out of the range. So this was put in, I think, yesterday or the day before. So there's gonna be a retest happening now. So when you bring out that Fibonacci, you could see it's actually testing the trend line now. So if the trend line holds, if support, sorry, if the trend line slash support resistance holds, we should see a continuation to the downside. So depending on your strategy intraday, guys, you want to join in on this. Might be pretty textbook. Might be a pretty textbook setup. So that is it. You can see the whole structure looks good. I'm sure you guys know how to use your Fibonacci expansion tool or extension, however you may call it. All right. So you see the 100 here. That's our demand zone. That's where we want to be stopping ourselves. I'll be waiting to buy here, by the way, because I'm a swing trader. I wouldn't be doing this. I'm waiting to buy to the upside. That's what I'm waiting for. So I wouldn't be selling anything there because of the way I trade. That's me. So you have to find your niche. Find whatever is working for you. If you're having problems with that, also, I mean, you can just the description below, there's a place that says become a trader, so you can just sign up. We can bring you up on that also. So the pound USD, this is the NZD, New Zealand dollar. Last week you could remember we were talking about this heads and shoulders, inverted heads and shoulders pattern on the 4-hour here, and we're like, if this inverted heads and shoulders holds, as in if it holds, the shoulder, the right shoulder holds, you might see a retracement to the top side. But if it doesn't hold, you might see it continue down. So right now it didn't hold, as you can see, and it probably continued to the downside. So I mean, now it's a trending market. So you should probably be seeing highs and lows to the downside. Before this potential. So that's a pound, that's a New Zealand dollar. Same thing from last week. Nothing has really changed. You can see I'm not trying to go past 4 hour, but after 4 hour for me, it's a little bit of noise. Yeah. Can't really tell what's going on. So that's a New Zealand dollar. The euro, the euro dollar is the whole analysis. I mean, still from last week, everything still looks in play from last week. Everything looks good. But what is going on right now around this area, the PRZ, is And when you bring out your Fibo, there was a breakout, bring out your Fibo. See, there's a 61.8 level here, just waiting to be touched. And over here we have support. We have weekly support. We have daily support just right there. So this zone is a very key zone for the euro. So I'll be very careful on this. So depending on what happens at this area of the chart, depending on what happens at this area of the chart, we want to see if we want to buy or we sell. So as a swing trader, I'll be waiting for something to happen around here, maybe to get in for a buy. But if my entry criteria doesn't fit, this trade will probably not be taken, and it's going to continue down. So this is a key zone for the euro dollar for this week. So some buyers should be coming in for sure at this level. People are going to buy around this level, and might also continue the breakdown to the downside. If you want to get the full view of this, you could go back to previous analysis, last week's analysis. I mean, nothing has actually changed except from the fact that it broke out of like this zone last week. And that was what happened last week, really. So you can check on it, get on previous analysis, get the full story so you understand what you're doing now. You as the chef, we talked about you as the chef. The Aussie dollar has a similar setup to the Euro USD. So the Euro USD is same thing, quite very, very similar. This is a range, of course. There's a breakout of the range. I'm sure you guys can see the breakout. So after the breakout was an inner trend line here also. So this might do a retracement for a good sell. I'm sure if you missed it, you should be waiting for a retest. I'm not a big fan of going in when the risk to reward is not favorable. So I like to see somewhere here where I know I can put my stop loss around here. Then the down move, fine. But when I enter here and I put my stop loss here, this is like 1:1 risk to reward ratio, and that's not good enough. So when I get a good retracement to the top side, like this, I know my risk should be small and my reward is large. So at least you get a 1:2 risk to reward ratio on every trade you're going into. So we'll probably be waiting for a retest. But if it doesn't retest and it goes, let it go. When you miss it, there's no need to chase it. There will be another opportunity on the way. I think that's all for today, guys. The pound NZD, I think I'm in the position on the pound. So usually what happens is if you are in a position, if you already picked a trade, you should already have a plan before you pick a trade. You should have a plan set before you pick a trade. Because as soon as you enter into a trade, you lose every objectivity. You can't think straight. So what I try to do is I try to not reanalyze any trade that I'm in for the videos I do, because I might totally get it off because I already have money on the line. So I might not be thinking straight with that. I might not be thinking straight with that analysis. So it happens to everyone. So far as you're in a trade, you lose objectivity. And it will be very hard to actually be on the right path with that until the trade plays out, until your plan plays out. All right, guys. I think today's is more of talking. But if you want to get a full view of all what you did last week, please check on the video. And I mean, please like, subscribe, and comment if you have any, guys. All right, guys, take care.